Welcome back to my channel. This is MJ Draperies and Interiors, Maria Johnson. Would you like to learn how to reupholster your own chair? Pretty easy. Let me show you how to do it. We're gonna take this chair from this to this, and as you can see, I decided to go with a simpler line. In one piece go across, and if you can create that style, you're gonna end up with all these cracks and a place for the crumbs to collect. That's why I went with a simpler style. And here we picked a very good imitation of leather. Now if you pick a different fabric, you might end up with less pleats. It really depends of the type of fabric. Here I already disconnected this seat from underneath. All you had to do, just take some screws out, figure out where they connected. These were my screws, I took them out. I'm gonna put them right back. And now let's go to my workroom and I'll show you how to do it. We're gonna take this off. Here's the fabric I already cut. Like I said, is a nice pleather. And this is what I've done to come up with the shape. I turned the seat upside down, and I trace the circle with a chalk line. And then don't forget to add what you need to come across. Okay, so meaning, and don't forget to add about half an inch to an inch to be able to grab from all sizes. Okay, so you measure that, you measure what you need, and then trace another line. I used my ruler, so it's 4 inch across, and then you cut it. All right, so now we have that perfect circle. Let's move to the next step. So I'm going to need a ruler, chalk or marker, and I'm going to mark this I'm trying to, hold on a second, just take a fabric and mark it at least 4. So I have that. Now I'm gonna do another. You see I'm matching this what I just marked. Trace again. Okay, let's do one more. Let's see. I'll tell you in a minute why I'm doing that. Okay, and let's do one more. Mark. Okay, you see now I have okay, I don't need to do these lines right now, but I just want to explain to you what this really represents. So these lines are going to make me staple the fabric to the chair very precisely. Okay, so now we're going to do the same to the chair after I take this out. Okay, I should have taken the fabric out before anything, and that is a good idea to cover your table. And here I have a razor blader, and I'll simply take my other one. I am going to cut this carefully. Okay, cut it and take it out slowly. Okay, so be careful if this foam intact. Don't touch that one. And here I have to disconnect the button that's holding. Alright. And let's put this away. Take the button in case you need it for later. But I'm not going to put mine back on the chairs because we want a clean line where we don't get breadcrumbs like here. Yikes. Let's put that down. And now I want to show you a trick with this foam. This is what it looks like underneath, by the way. It's a 2-inch foam. And what I'm going to do, I have my steamer heating up there. And I'm going to take this foam and reshape it like it was brand new. This way it's going to fluff up again, including the center. Let me see if you can see what I'm doing. First of all, I'm going to move this back. And I want to show you this magic. So here's my steamer. And I'm going to watch this trick. Okay. I'm going to bring that center back to what it was normally. Let me remove that little thread there that was holding the... Okay. You can turn your seat upside down to the steam to go in everywhere. And watch these, just watch these edges closely. You see how they puff up? I don't know if you can see, but it's pretty magical. Now be careful not to go where you have glue on. Try to avoid those because you're gonna disconnect the glue. Now I do recommend you wear a mask when you do this because being a old foam, old chair, you want to protect your breathing, to prevent breathing and all that nasty stuff. But I don't know if you can see, it expanded like crazy, what it was originally, basically. Again, just to turn the foam upside down if you want to go to steam. Now you want to let this air for a while. Also, look at that, those indentations. Do you see? Do you see how this reshapes by itself? I hope I have a good angle in there because I don't believe this camera really does justice to what is happening here right now. Basically back to original. Now you want to let this dry for a second. You want to let this air and vent out that air. And now I had a lot of questions. I did another video regarding this foam. People ask if water are stuck in there, trapped in there. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is just a. This is gonna vent and dry out. And this foam is gonna remain like that. I promise you. You can even see that the permanent hole that was created is up. And I think that's enough. I'm gonna turn my steamer on. And let's just let this air out for a second, and then I come back to you and continue the step. Alright, here we are back, vented enough. Now I'm going to move on to the next step, and I'm gonna put this towel here. And this is what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna trace the same amount of lines on the back of this chair, and using the same ruler, same technique. So let's just start from the center, which is the center. Let's just pick up the center right in between those. Just figure out what your center is. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm doing the same thing, straight lines. Move on, center again. Now here I'm kind of guessing where the center is since I cannot bend this wood. You're just referring. Center. Okay, since that should be enough. I should even just make four lines in here. Okay, now what I'm going to do with the face fabric down here. Here's the back. Take the seat. Make sure you're putting it nice and evenly. And here are my lines. I'm going to take the white marks. I hope you can see. My white marks here, white mark here. I'm going to staple right there. Let me make sure they are matching. Lines are matching. See, it's not. Now it's about right. This is going to be another one. Okay. Let's start stapling now. I'm going to use this hand staple because I don't want to make too much noise with my air compressor machine. When I do the air compressor machine, I like to work outside because it's very loud. So, now don't worry, this is going to stretch. I cut it here purposely because I already done the other one and I know how much this fabric stretches. So let's put that first staple right there. And now we're going to turn this the other way. So what you want to do now, you want to stretch this fabric. Stretch. You see how much stretch it has? It's about 2 inches extra, and here looks like it's nothing, right? Stretch it, mark it, take a line, and then from underneath you go with your hand like that. Other way. If you don't do that, it's going to be a loose seat. That's not good. Now again, turn it with the corners. There is no corners in the center, I'm sorry. With the marks, matching the marks again. Trying to adjust these pleats the way they were. And you see, before I staple, again, you want to stretch it up, okay? Now you turn the opposite side. Remember, line with line, that's where you want to staple first. And as I'm pulling the foam down, make sure it doesn't move anywhere. I'm pulling and pushing with this other hand. Again, turn your seat and collect it with your hand, stretch it out. See, now we have 4. And here we're going to do the same on these lines. Even though I don't have more lines on this chair, I kind of figured out distance we divide that equally. I already have this other line here on the fabric. I'm just going to figure out where the center is. Staple there. Also, you can see what you staple. You can see the same dividing. It's creating these pleats already. Okay, we're going to do the same on the other side. So work the opposite. Okay, take a line and go center. Now I suggest you wear some gloves because this is a very intense job. Your hands are going to hurt you. Hopefully you have just a small chair that you're practicing on. So here's another line. Oh, excuse me. And the opposite now. Now let me cut this foam out because this is going to be in the way. You don't want to pass the foam on the... It's going to be harder to staple. So just move it out of the way before you staple if you can. So I'm gonna keep doing this one more time. Again, center. You see how they're already forming? So take that center with the center of the wooden staple. I'm gonna go in the circle one more time, and then I'll show you how you end up with those splits. You see, they're gonna get narrower and narrower, and that's when you're gonna start to pull and push this. Pull and push. So you want to divide those little pleats to be equally everywhere. Everywhere. And you want to staple almost next to each other. And that's what I'm saying, this foam is in the way now, see? So I'm gonna cut again. But remember, I have to go one more time with the center of the pleat all around. And then I'm going to create this. Okay. And so let me do that all the way, and I'll come back. I'll come back when I continue this dividing precisely. So here we are back, and you can continue doing this one more time if you want. And oh, you know what? It's fine. All right, so let's continue. See, here I have left over those old, the old staples and the other leather. I'm just gonna leave it like that because this is gonna cover very well. So I'm not worried about pulling that out. You can see it's almost flat, so not worried about that. Now if you work with a different type of chair, you might want to remove that because most of them are in the way. I just got lucky here. So pull all the old staples and fabrics out, okay? And definitely you want to pull the old fabric out, never recover with the new fabric over the old fabric. And another thing I want to mention, since I have this next to me from the other day, if you do some other type of cushions or dining chairs that require additional softness, maybe the foam is not enough. Most of them require an additional, like a polyester batting, or this is called Decron, is 1 inch thick. So it creates additional softness. Now this chair was just not necessary. I just want over just a bar stool, and it's perfect just the way it is. So let's continue doing this. The foam comes in many different, from soft to firm to medium. There are many options to choose from. So when you work with your cushions, consider all that. Now again, we're gonna go in between here, center again one more time, and go like that. So that's what you keep doing. Just do those centers, centers, until you can grab anymore, and that's when you start creating those pleats. Okay. I don't know if you can see me. Maybe in the way. Let me move this here for a second. Now we're doing this technique because we're working with a round seat. If you have a square seat, you can choose to do different types of pleating. You could do a I don't know if you can see different type of finishes on a pleat, okay? But I think this works well for the round. So let's continue. Sorry about the movements. And now, so pleat there. So as I want to get closer to close this, I'm pushing sideways, both sides. This way you divide these pleats equally, okay? Hold, and then staple. And you want to staple almost next to each other. Don't forget to pull as you staple. You want it to pull because otherwise it's going to be a loose seat, so I don't want that. So I think you got it. I'm just going to continue doing this until the end, and then I'll see you after for the next step. Okay. All right, let's move on to the next step. I finished with my staples. Now the next step will be, okay, so you have two options here. You could leave it open and clean it up with a razor blade again, or you can cover it with a dust cover. Now I'm going to leave it open just like the original was. So I'm going to take my razor blade and carefully cut all this extra out right on the edge of the chair. So I'm using this edge as a guidance to cut what I'm having my razor blade against. Okay, right there. Take the time. And then we're going to paint those staples to make them blend with the fabric. Also, we need to hammer down those staples. Ta-da! Look how cute this is already. Okay, before we forget, here I have a hammer. I'm gonna make sure these staples are secure. Take my paint. Paint I just used earlier for the other chair. It's already mixed. My brush almost dried. Hopefully it's coming back. Just a simple, just a basic black paint I'm using to blend with. Well, I can do this because honestly, this blends with the fabric, and I need to cover the staples basically. So when it's gonna dry, it's gonna camouflage nicely underneath the chair. Okay. Now I bet you cannot do this on other fabrics. So in that case, you can use a marker to paint those staples, or simply put a dust cover on the. You don't need to paint at all. Dust cover fabric that is made for under the chairs. Again, here I'm trying to duplicate the factory style of this chair. Okay. If the client will bring it to me with a dust cover, I'll definitely put a dust cover. You want to make it as original as possible. Yeah, with that being said, if you find this video useful and would like to see more upholstery related draperies, sewing, decorating, outside, gardening, inside and out, please subscribe. Please consider subscribing to my channel. It will be greatly appreciated. Subscribe, share, leave me some positive feedbacks. And just show me some support. It will be greatly appreciated because there's so much negativity around, so we try to focus on the good stuff these days, you know what I mean? Of course you do. I'm sure you all want the same thing after all, right? That's it. Look like it dry okay. Let's go, put it up. So, let's do this. This is how I'm putting it. Just put up the screws and that's it. And here they are, so cute, so cute, so cute. I also touch up some of the chipped paint on the bottom. I think my client is gonna appreciate that. Free of charge, who doesn't like that, right? So here they are, guys. What do you think? Would you give it a try? Pretty easy, right? Of course.